Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smart Money Financial Group studio broadcast. My name is Charles Knorr. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Smart Money Financial Group, but I'm also the host of this show. And today we're going to continue our series in honor of Women's History Month. And I'm super excited about the material and the value that these ladies that I've been having on the show are bringing. They are here to help let you know the entrepreneurial life is like as a woman. They're inspiring, they're motivational, and these are successful women in their field. And today, I'm really happy because I have a special guest, and this guest, we go back, I won't tell you how far back we go, but we are great friends. We served in the military together, and she is a rising star in the Smart Money Financial Group. And she's going to, I'm telling you folks, she is going to set the world on fire. And I'm so happy that she took time out of her busy schedule to talk to you all about her entrepreneurial journey in this month of March, where we are observing Women's History. So I'm going to bring her on right now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Dr. LaKeisha Hobbs, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself right now before we get into the depths of this podcast and this interview. Dr. Hobbs, it's all you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Charles, for having me here for this candid interview. So as you stated, my name is Dr. LaKeisha Hobbs. I'm the regional VP manager here in the Nashville metro area. I'm actively involved in this community through volunteer service and civic engagement. I also had the honor, of course, as you mentioned before, serving this great nation of ours in the capacity of a diplomat and a service member. I served over 20 years and am now a retired Army veteran.
20 years, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, we have quality folks on this podcast, and many of them are veterans who have not only just served a few years, but have put in double digits and have retired. So, Keisha, before we really dive into the questions that I want to ask you today, I want to start with just allowing the audience to know you a little bit better and how you started your own entrepreneurial journey to get you where you are today with the Smart Money Financial Group. Can you kind of just share with our audience where you started and what inspired you, I guess, to become an entrepreneur?
I guess I have to start back, in my childhood days. I think we all have experienced being an entrepreneur, whether you selling icicles, candies, anything of that nature. And that was me. So as I was coming up, I remember selling freeze pops. That's what we call them. You got the red one, you got the purple one. Yes, 25 cents. And then later on, down the line, I remember in high school selling candy bars. And it's funny you say that because I didn't realize it at the time. And just now thinking about it, I started undercutting my competition. Well, they were selling it for like 50 cents. I'm like, hey, I'm going to sell mine for 25 cents. But when it's in you, it's
true hustler.
Oh man, tell me about it. I boss every day. So when it's in you, even if you don't think it is, like you say, DNA. But as time passed over the years into adulthood, I would have to say robbing Peter to pay Paul, if that makes sense to you. Mm-hmm. So it started my journey of wanting more. I knew inside that I wanted to do more, have my own. And of course, serve people, as well, be of service. So now that I'm with Smart Money Financial Group, that it's like a glove in a hand. It just fits.
Nice. So as you were starting off on this entrepreneurial journey of yours, you took me back because when you said, the popsicles and and then you were hustling in a sense. I remember personally myself, and many of my audience, they kind of know this about me, but I started really at a young age too. And I remember doing everything like cutting grass, to gain some money to be able to just go to the movies. But I wanted to do more than that. I basically took over a
Mhm.
whole neighborhood and a whole subdivision. I was the man, you know, with the plan because I wanted my summer to be good. So
Look, don't leave no money on the table.
there you
That's
go.
how
There you
that
go. But having said that, what do you feel are your, I guess, biggest fears or your biggest doubts as an entrepreneur? What concerns you? What scares you?
Well, of course, I would like to say that I wouldn't want to use the terminology fear, based on um, that God, say, hey, we shouldn't have to fear for anything, but I know we are human. But it was really succeeding, being successful. I was definitely cautious about starting out. It was important for me to know that I was truly helping people, not just talking about it, if that makes sense. But just really making an impact and being fairly new here in this Nashville area. I did wonder, am I really going to reach people the way I wanted to? But over time, I realized when you're truly genuine and you're walking in your purpose, the right people will find you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point that you make there. Because we as entrepreneurs, we're going to have challenges, and there are some times where you can be afraid of the possibility of your own success.
Yeah,
And I tell a lot of people that when you are a business owner or when you have a passion about whatever it is that you have a passion about and you're pursuing it, the the main thing that holds a lot of people back is they're fearful of what happens if I actually succeed in this. You want to be a millionaire, but what happens if I actually become a millionaire? And so you get concerned about the circle you're with and the friends that you have now. And I tell people, Keisha, all the time that when you start to have success, you will find that the circle of friends that you have, some of them won't be your friends anymore. You know,
absolutely.
you tend to have to move on a little bit because, and I always give this analogy like, we all, at least in our age group, we came up on the space shuttle, right? And when the space shuttle would launch, the the main thing you remember is that it had these two rocket boosters on the side. And
Mhm.
sometimes when you're taking off, right, you're giving full throttle. You got them friends that are right there with you, but at some point they drop off, and
Yeah.
you're the one who still keeps going towards the destination.
Absolutely. And if I could just caveat off that, and a lot of time, God moves those people out of your way, because
Mm.
everybody can't go where you going and what He has destined for you.
That is very true. That is
Yeah.
very true.
Because again, if you align yourself, like you said, you align yourself with the Word, your purpose. You're on a journey.
Hmm.
So again, you gotta he gotta take care of you. So he knows who's supposed to be there. He strategically places people in your life at the right time at the right place.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% believer in that.
Yeah.
But then you navigated. You did the popsicles, and now here we are, all the way as a grown person, and you have joined the Smart Money Financial Group, and we just had a very successful ribbon cutting ceremony that was only a few weeks ago. Met a lot of people. People from the senator's office were out there.
Yes.
So, obviously you are making waves and doing great things, even in the initial stages of launching this franchise, if you will. But are you concerned about certain challenges that you may face, especially as a woman? Is there anything that you feel like is going to be a significant roadblock for you?
Oh my challenges. There have been and candidly speaking, and this is my experience that I've had, in the beginning, it was challenges of just having the right resources, access to opportunities, throughout the years. But just currently, um, a lot of time the biggest challenge too is getting the buy-in, as well. Um, and of course, just being a female where I am actually located and just going to different events, I tend to be either the only female or the only Black female. So the room a lot of time is, male dominant. So again, yes, we all are cordial, we speak, but you can read the room. I'm not saying everybody is the same, but you can read the room when individuals are just talking to you just to talk to you, not really too much interested. And a lot of times, I've gotten a vibe. And again, this is my experience like, well, who are you when they see me? Because do not question at all, because when I walk into that room, I walk in that room like I'm supposed to be there. So, of course, granted, they might just very well be wondering, who am I? But a lot of times, it's like, okay, well, who is this person? Because based on the conversation, if I'm talking to you, then somebody else come up, you disregard my conversation, or, you looking around. So I know that you're not, focused on what I'm saying, and then again, and unfortunately, when I'm in the room with us, and when I say us,
Mhm.
Black people, minorities, a lot of times we don't even want to speak to each other. We looking at each other like, who are you too? You
Say
know,
it isn't so. Say it
no,
isn't so.
it is, and honestly, it's kind of, and I get the feeling of gatekeeping as well.
Yeah.
I'm all about pouring out information, sharing everything that I have. And again, this is my experience, nobody else. I'm speaking for self. And we are actually like crabs in a barrel. I've experienced that as well. So being an entrepreneur it is not easy. But again, if you have a purpose and you're here to serve, and you trust in God to order your steps, you're not going to give up. And I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, I like that. And you're telling so much truth right now because um,
Yeah.
people
Oh,
think it's
and follow
easy.
up is bad. I'm sorry. And follow up is bad.
Oh,
Like genuinely, like I'm genuine, like, hey, I'm out here trying to help, but I follow up, but I don't get anything in return a lot of times. Again, this is not everyone, but it's a little bit more often than not, just to say that.
yeah. So the game is definitely not an easy game to play. And, what I will say is that you have spoke a lot of truth. You can walk into a room, and being a male, I can tell you that a lot of times males don't look at the playing field as evenly when there's a female around. So you already have a challenge when you come into a male dominated room, or you're at a
Mhm.
conference or some kind of event. So I hear what you're saying on that, but what advice would you give then to a woman who is looking to start her own business or has started her own business, and you know she can expect some of these challenges? What do you tell her in order to get her to have the right mindset in order to be able to overcome those challenges?
Um, I guess just continue to do it. I mean, Nike said it best, right? Just do it. Don't stop. Just because someone look at you different or doesn't give you the response that you want, or you just feel like, okay, man, I can't just catch a break. You know your purpose. Someone out there, what you are trying to do or what you're currently doing is not just for you. It could very well be for somebody else. So don't block their blessings and definitely don't block yours. So just keep your head up and just keep pushing. It will all pay off in the end.
Yeah, I like that too. So if you were, I guess the best way I want to kind of phrase this, when you talk about Smart Money Financial Group and where we are today, we've already talked about some of the challenges that a woman would face as an entrepreneur. What kind of challenges you think that they may face in the financial space, being that we are in the business of trying to help people in our community or underserved communities. What do you think is the biggest setback, or what do you think the things that we as entrepreneurs that are in Smart Money Financial Group will seem to face?
Me, honestly speaking, again, for self is, and I go back to what I said previous, the buy-in. Before, I felt like I had to convince, explain the value of what we do. Because individual, don't get me wrong, some individuals see the value of what we do, but it's their mindset of just looking. It could be very well like you looking at me as, oh, that's just Keisha. And I'm speaking from like family and friends perspective, or someone that knows me. Okay, now, or again, it goes back to how Jesus could have did a lot in his community, but he couldn't because of how the people looked at him. They just looked at him as the snotty nosed Jesus. I'm just using that as example. So he could have did a lot of work in the world. So I'm out here trying and to put this, information out, and of course the awareness of what we do as frequently as possible. So again, yes, it's the buy-in, and also too, the challenge is, okay, if I do this for you on a business perspective, what can you do for me? So you would get that too from a lot of other business owners, because if they can't benefit from you, they're not interested in, helping you, to network and grow as well within the community.
Absolutely. And I'll even throw another tit for tat out there too, that a lot of times, when we're talking to people out here in our community, because of the history when it comes to finances and stuff going many, many, many years back, a lot of people just think that it's too good to be true.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
this
Just for
gotta be a
instance,
scam. This can't be real. How can this work? And because of that, in that mindset, it really makes things difficult. And like you said, we sometimes find ourselves trying to persuade somebody or convince somebody that it really works when we shouldn't have to, right?
right. And that's what I was about to say. That's pretty much almost every day for me with some people, but other people get it. Like today, I went to a ribbon cutting and there was a young lady there. She got it. I didn't have to explain to her. And I was like, wow. I said, you understand the number in other banks? She said, I do. Because again, she said, yes, I'm a homeowner and I'm paying my mortgage. I'm paying a little bit more on my principal. I said, that's great. That's the traditional way. I said, you may get about 5 or 6 years off that. I said, but using the services, the software that we have, you would cut that in half, if not more. And she said, wow. She said, I'm interested. And I passed along my information to her. So again, it goes back to a lot of times you have to convince, or you really have to explain thoroughly more and more, for someone to really get it. And
Yeah. So
that's disheartening.
what I think what I have learned over time when we're dealing with financial literacy and financial education, in trying to make people aware of what we do and what we can do for them. I think what I have learned mainly is, instead of trying to persuade somebody or convince them about what we have is of value and it's good, that if we do more of education,
Mhm.
you know, then that makes people more aware.
Mhm.
And we have this thing that I believe most people understand when it comes to marketing and all that. People have to KLT, you have to know, like, and trust you. And so once they know you, once they like you, once they trust you, then they whatever you bring to them, they'll be more receptive of. So what our challenge a lot of times is getting people to know, like, and trust us. And
Mhm.
until we get that part with them, and that's why we're always out in the community, that's why we're always at events, and that's why we're always at conferences, and that's why we're always speaking up in places where we
Mhm.
congregate, like churches and things like that, because we want people to know who we are, to know us, to like us, and to trust us. And once they do that, they seem to let their guard down a little bit more. But until then, it is a unique challenge that we face, because people think what we have is too good to be true. But
Mhm.
smart technology has been around for many, many years. AI has been around for a while, but now it seems common because it's caught into the news cycles and things like that. So when we talk about what we do and the smart technology that we bring to the forefront now, it's not as big of a barrier, because there are some awareness about it, but being aware that the technology out there and what it can do for you in the financial space is two different things.
Yeah,
It's two different
absolutely.
things. But yeah, so what do you feel like Smart Money Financial Group is going to be able to do for those potential clients that you're going to be fostering and getting to know there in Middle Tennessee?
So here, what I would like to do in Middle Tennessee is to be visible, right? So by me being visible, me being out, boots on ground, is basically get into these communities, get in these communities, trying to bring awareness, especially in the underserved communities. Let them know that they have a choice, and the choice is not refi. The choice is not a HELOC. The choice is not getting a loan. It's basically using the income that you currently have. Just letting them know that financial freedom is closer than they think it is. And that should prompt them to want to build generational wealth, leave a legacy. What do they legacy? What do they want their legacy to be? Saving more, investing more. Just say you want to take a vacation more often than you do, and even maybe retire early. So I want us, as in the community, to just be financially free and enjoy life. We have one life to live.
Yeah, you said that really well, because it really kind of goes along with our motto, if you will. We want to help people, like one individual,
Yeah.
one family, one community at a time. We want to help as many people as we possibly can get out of debt bondage, because there's no reason to live paycheck to paycheck, right? And there's
Right.
no reason to not be able to save money or pass down wealth to your family
Right.
or create a legacy with when you have this smart technology like we have out there. And it almost, I think you said it really well, it's almost a choice now to stay in debt or get out of debt, right?
Right.
And if you choose to stay in debt, something's wrong with you. But if you want to get out of debt, why not use this technology that's out there to get out of debt the fastest way you possibly can? Because the faster you can get out of debt, the more money you can do. What you can have to do other things like save, invest, or, as you mentioned earlier, even retire earlier, right?
Right. Right.
One thing I can say about when I joined the military is I knew I was going to probably be a lifer and that I was going to retire from the military. But what I did not want to do when I retired from the military is do with the examples that were set before me. My father, for example, was Air Force, and he retired from the Air Force after 20 years. When he retired, he did what most everybody else does. He became a GS employee. He went right back to work for the Air Force for another 20-something years. I did not want to do that. When I retired, I wanted to be done.
And you did that. And
yes.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you. But here's my thing. I want to do like what you want to do. Mm-hmm. I want to have an impact in the community. And that's what Smart Money Financial Group is all about, right? We want to have an impact in the community. We want to be able to have people that, labored in the vineyard for as long as they have, to be able to enjoy retirement, but not enjoy retirement in their 70s.
Right.
Because then what? You in your 70s, you don't want to travel anymore. You're too tired to do the exciting things that you may have wanted to do when you were still in your 40s or your 50s.
Yes.
So the goal is to create an environment, a business that people can come to, get financially educated, use smart technology to eliminate their debt really fast, and start investing and saving for the future so that ultimately, when it's all said and done, you have wealth that you can pass down to your family,
absolutely,
your kids, instead of the one thing that we are often good at passing down, which is debt. Yeah. We don't leave our families nothing but debt. We leave mortgages, student loan debt, auto loans, credit cards, all that kind of stuff, right? But anyway, the last couple of questions I want to ask you, because we're getting short on time here, is now that you have established yourself as a VP up there in Middle Tennessee with the Smart Money Financial Group, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you see this business going? What do you want to accomplish for either yourself or for the community?
So again, my calling is to serve the people. So what I want to see, and of course myself, but what I want to see is people get out of debt. I want them to have financial freedom, and I have the solution. What's the problem? Debt. The solution? Smart Money Financial Group, cash flow management system, right? So my goal is to get out here to be known, like I'm out here trooping the community. You know how we call it trooping the line, So it's trooping the community and letting them know that, hey, I'm here. I want to help. I am invested in your future. Come on, let's do this together. Let's create wealth. Let's create a legacy. And let's create a strong community. And of course, for myself, I want to leave a legacy, of what did I do? It's not necessarily legacy, for money. Well, yes, we all want that. But before I leave from up out of here, this earth, I want people to remember me as someone that actually was out there helping, rooting for the people, wanting to help the individuals, just be able to live life, have a piece of their heaven here on earth.
I like that answer too. I think you said it really, really well. The bottom line is it's not always about us. It's about what we can do for others, right? Absolutely. How we can serve. And one thing that I really appreciate about being a veteran and serving for such a long time is that we learn, I think, better than most people what servant leadership is. We understand that to be a great leader, you have to be a great servant. Yes. In fact, you have to be an even better servant.
Yes.
And I think what we've created in the Smart Money Financial Group is we've created a mindset and an environment where we want to serve the people. And I think Jesus said it best, when you serve people the way, when you wash feet, right? When you do those types of things, that those things are going to come back to you. Those blessings will come back to you. And
Absolutely.
I know for a fact that anybody who puts themselves in the Smart Money Financial Group arena, in this environment, whatever blessings come to us, you can get blessed simply because you're in the room, and you can get that overflow simply because you happen to be around, and
Exactly.
I think that uh, most people who take a look at us um, will find their blessing, their financial blessing, that's a long lasting, this keeps coming over and over and over again. But having said that, Women's History Month is important. We have a whole month that we observe that. Um, but I often like to ask the guests when they come on the show, what woman in their life inspired them or that they look up to? Do you have a woman that you aspire to be like, or inspired you or motivate you to become an entrepreneur? Or
Um, there are so many amazing trailblazers. I mean, I could just list them. But just based on my journey, I would have to say Sarah Walker, also known as Madam CJ.
Madam CJ Walker.
Yes, sir. Her resilience alone, her drive. Come on, I could talk about her forever. The way she built something from the ground up, she perfected something, and she didn't give up, right? Not even when it was easy, when it wasn't easy. I mean, she saw a need, right? The hair care, she saw a need. Okay, ladies, we need it. She created a solution. She stayed committed. And that speaks volumes to me. It really does speak to me. And in a way that it's like I'm doing the same thing, but in a different space, if that makes sense. Helping people take control of their finances, and on a personal level, I want to say my great grandmother, also known as my mom. I'm not going to forget about her. She's been one of my greatest inspiration. She didn't have much, we didn't have much, but she gave me everything she could, right? And she always told me to be more than her. And those words, they stayed with me every step of the way. I mean, think about it. I grew up down south, right? My great grandmother couldn't read, she couldn't write. She was a sharecropper. I even accompanied her in those conditions in the cotton field. So of course, I'm here for honoring. I'm here for stepping in those spaces that they created for me, and I do not take that lightly.
you know, for the audience out there, if you do not know who Madam CJ Walker is or was, please look
Mhm.
that up. She was the first
Yeah.
female millionaire, the first, not black millionaire, female millionaire. She was the first female millionaire that's documented by, I think, the
Self-made.
Genesis Book of World Records. So,
Yeah.
yeah, self-made, right?
Mhm.
Self-made, selling hair products, y'all. So you don't think that mouth-to-mouth advertising works. You don't think that
Mhm.
word-of-mouth advertising works. You don't think that marketing works. You don't think that you can grow a business from the ground roots. Madam
Yeah.
CJ Walker, perfect example of what you can do when you have a product that you believe in and you believe in yourself. And no matter what people tell you, if you believe in yourself and you have the mindset that you're going to be an overcomer and an achiever, then guess what? You can be that next Madam CJ Walker. And that, my friends, is what I believe Dr. Hobbs is going to be in the
Yeah.
Smart Money Financial Group. I truly believe she picked the right one.
Mhm.
Always, moms, grandmoms are always going to be our role model for most of us anyway.
Absolutely.
But to
Absolutely.
have that entrepreneurial role model like Madam C.J. Walker, I think that is an excellent example during this woman's history of an entrepreneur that grinded it out with something she was passionate about. She didn't let nobody tell her. I mean, her husband, no, didn't believe in her, but she still did it. She still did it, y'all.
And think about the time. Think about the time it was in.
Oh,
compared to where we at today.
Oh, yeah. This
she
is way
had it
back in
10 times
1860.
harder. Yeah, she had it 10 times harder than we do today.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about that. So if she was committed and she did what she did, look, 10 toes down, she had a vision, right? And with hardly no resources, she figured it out. So with the resources, the technology that we have today, that's why I said just do it. Don't look back. No regrets.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Dr. Hobbs, we are running out of time here, and I really want people to. Time flies when you have fun, right? That's just
yes,
But
yes.
we'll definitely have to get you on the show again, maybe a different topic, and have you back so that you can express some more views, give some more tips about being an entrepreneur and about what life is like in your journey with Smart Money Financial Group as well. But is there anything that you want to leave the audience before we close out here? If they want to get involved, if they want to connect with you, and they want to get started with Smart Money Financial Group, what do they need to do?
So that's an easy one, right? So basically, just tap in. Learn more about what we do. Like ask questions, have a conversation. You could visit our website at www.smfg-usa.com or connect with us on social media. Whether you're looking to partner, refer someone, or just learn, we're here for that. All right. At the end of the day, it's all about spreading awareness and helping more people understand they have options.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a magnificent conversation between myself and Dr. LaKeisha Hobbs, who is running the office down there in Middle Tennessee. Look, she's in Tennessee. That's where she's headquartered at. But understand this, because of the power of the internet, because we have Zooms and we have cell phones and all that, you can still reach out and touch her from wherever state that you're in. Okay. She has branches and networks and contacts all over these 50 states. So if you're interested in working with her, just contact us through our website. She just named it. We'll put it on the banner later, but www.smfg-usa.com. Or you can call our office at 1-888-610-9095. And just ask for Dr. Hobbs, and if she's not around, we'll make sure that she gets the message. Other than that, Dr. Hobbs, is there any other final remarks that you want to let the audience know before we go off the air?
Well, I love Madam C.J. Walker, right? So, and don't quote me on this if I mess it up, right? There's a quote by Madam C.J. Walker. I think it said, I had to make my own living and my own opportunity. Yeah, that's what I would like the listeners to leave the listeners with, because create the opportunity, even if it doesn't exist. Trust yourself, trust what God placed inside of you, and take the first step. Everything that you're looking for is already in you. You just have to move. So don't miss out on your blessing, and don't have someone else to miss out on their blessings as well, because God moves through people.
And there you have it, folks. There you have it. Well, Dr. Hobbs, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. And like I said, we'll definitely have to reach back out to you and find another time and space where we can have you back so that you can provide some more value for our audience. And so we'll coordinate on that. But thanks again for coming, and
Yeah.
we hope that you guys have got some value out of our show today. And if you have, please share this with someone. Share it on Facebook, YouTube, Threads. Whatever medium that you have, share this information so that you may be inspiring or motivating some young lady out there or someone who wants to take that next step, become a business owner, or who wants to go down the route of being an entrepreneur, to understand that there are women out there, rising stars like Dr. LaKeisha Hobbs, who have taken the reins and just running with it. Okay. That there are women out there that they can look up to that will help them get to where they want to get to in this life. So please stay with us as we continue to honor women in the month of March. We've got some more episodes that are going to be coming up. And we have some other power hitters in the game that are really, really setting the blaze on fire when it comes to women are doing in the entrepreneurial space. So until then, take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next show. Take care.